Hello everyone, it's Maria here from Pepperly Rose Paper Crafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in Australia. Welcome and thank you all so much for stopping by. I'd like to thank those that have subscribed to my channel. I really do appreciate your support. So today I'm going to be making a card similar to this. Now this is Pretty Kitty, and that's the beautiful bouquet stamp set and the matching dies. And the background here is using the basic polka dot embossing folder. Now, this card was made over the weekend for a challenge where we had to use product that we haven't used before. It was part of the challenge. And I hadn't used Pretty Kitty because although I liked the stamp set, I was always avoiding colouring. I thought I wasn't good at it. So recently I've just challenged myself to colour a little bit more. So today's card is going to be a variation of this where I'll be making pretty much the same card, but I'll be using a different embossing folder and I'll be minusing that little touch there. I don't think it's absolutely necessary, so I'm going to redo this card again, and the cardstock I'm using today is Pineapple Punch. So this is the Pretty Kitty stamp set. I'm going to use this image again because I really love it and it's really, really cute. Now this is a product I haven't used, and it's the Basket Weave Dynamic folder. I have not used this yet, so today I think it'll look really nice with this stamp set. I'm going to use the Stitched Shapes Framelits and the Layering Circle Framelits as well. So we'll get started on this card. So firstly, excuse me, I'm going to get a base of card base, which is Pineapple Punch, and I am obsessed with this colour, and it is so unlike me to like bright yellows, but I really, really love this card colour. I just love it. So this is a 4 inches across by 8 inches, and I scored it at 4, so it's going to be a little 4x4 card. And I love the square, and this is so cute. It's a really cool card base. So we've got that one, and then I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 square. So before I start anything, I've got a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to stamp that image there for the Pretty Kitty. Whoops, it's all stuck together here. And I'm going to use my Stamparatus only because I would like to make sure that my image stamps perfectly. And so I'll be putting that here. And I'll take off all these extra bits too, I forgot that. And I like using the Stamparatus, or you can use any of the stamping platforms that you may have. I'm using Memento ink with this. And just stamp that there. I think that turned out absolutely perfect. First go, awesome. So that's that was stamped in Memento Tuxedo Black. I'm just going to clean off my stamp and take it off. I won't need the Stamparatus anymore. So I'll pop this over. And I'm just going to give this a few minutes for it to dry, okay? So I'll pop my stamp set away. This is going to go relatively quickly. I'm just going to grab my embossing folder, and as you can see I haven't used it yet. So it's totally brand new. And I'm going to grab my 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 inch square Whisper White. And I'm just going to line this up to make sure that it's lined up correctly. Okay, that looks great. I'll bring up my Big Shot. And you only need one cutting plate for this because this is the thicker embossing folders, so you don't need 2 plates, just need the one. Pop that over the top there, and I'll crank that through the Big Shot. And if you're not familiar with the dynamic folders, These folders are thicker because they give you a much deeper impression. So I'll just show you now. Oh wow, look at that. Just wow. And check that out. The other side looks cool too. But I'm just going to use this side on top. And lay it on here. It looks spectacular. How cool is that? Wow, I love that. And that's the first time using it, so I'm very impressed with it. I'm going to adhere this down. I'm just going to grab some glue, which I forgot to get. So I'll just quickly grab the glue. Just use you can use Tombow or any other glue you may have. And I'm just going to use that. It's good to use liquid glue with really textured pieces of cardstock. Keeps it together. So I'll just pop that on there. That looks really cool. I love that. Just center it. And that's what I like about liquid glue too, is that it gives you a few minutes to center it and put it together. Oops. Okay. Just press it down for a couple of seconds. Okay. Now, this was stamped in Memento, and today I'm going to be using some watercolour pencils. These are pencils I've had in my crafty stash for several years, and I hardly use them. I don't know, I felt intimidated by watercolouring for some unknown reason, but I'm going to be using these today, and I'm just going to make sure this is pressed down so it adheres. And I think now that's done, so have a look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? So I've got some watercolour pencils here, and I'm also going to be using my blender pen, and I've got some scratch paper there so I can just scribble off. So for this part, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be scribbling on some colour. So I'll start off with, for example, the cat. So I'll just scribble on some colour, and then I'm going to blend it out with my blender pen. So what will happen is I will now make this speed up, and then I will bring this closer. So I'll bring you down so you can see. Just grab my, where is it? So you can see now what I've done is I have scribbled my colour. Then I'm going to get my blender pen and just blend that out. Okay, so you'll see me blending these out like that. And I'll be increasing the speed, so enjoy. I've just finished now colouring in. So with the watercolour pencils, you can actually mix colours together. So as you can see now, that is totally mixed there. I'm just going to blend out actually that blue and just blend it out to nothing basically. So it's just blending it out. And here's the beauty, it doesn't have to be precise. So yeah, it just gives you that effect of watercolour. And I think that turned out really, really pretty. I love that. How cute is that? So it just gives you a nice blue background, like a shade around it, so it looks like it's not just the stark white. So I really enjoy colouring with watercolour pencils. That can be any pencils you may have in your stash. These are really El Cheapo. I got these were like $23 about 10 years ago. I'm sure they're worth a lot more now, but these are fantastic. I love my watercolour pencils. You can use the Stampin' Up ones, whichever ones you have. And I quite like as well, you know, the Copic markers or the, you know, alcohol blenders, but I find that they're very expensive, and for me, watercolour pencils are more cost effective to get the similar shading and everything that you would with an alcohol pen marker then, and also you get that same with watercolour, and you can also add colour and make it shaded, and you can do all sorts of cool stuff with it. So I'm quite happy with my watercolour pencils. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to use the largest, I can't speak today, largest stitched shape framelit, and I'm going to be using the circle. Actually, I'll be using, is it the largest one or the second largest one? Just give me a second. Yeah, I'll use the second largest one, not the largest. So I will grab my Big Shot and I'll cut that out. I'm using my platform with the thin die adapter and a cutting plate. And I'm going to use a tiny piece of painter's tape. I keep one on top of my Big Shot just for times like this when I'm not using my magnetic platform, or if I just want to have a lot more to make sure that it just actually stays put. So it's just a small piece there. I'm going to run that through now. Okay. So that cut out beautifully. Then I'm going to use my pineapple punch cardstock, and I'm going to cut out the a scalloped circle from the Layering Circles Framelits dies, and it is, I'll be using, I think, this one from memory. Not too big. The second largest one. I think that's it. I'll just make sure it layers. Yeah, that's the one. So second largest one. I'll pop that over here. Make sure it stays put. And I'm going to cut that now with the Big Shot. And we're done with the Big Shot. I'll put that away. So that was the second largest scallop circle from the Layering Circles Framelits, and the second largest circle of the stitch shape Framelits. Okie dokie. So we'll bring our card base with that gorgeous basket weave. I love that. And what we're going to do is we're going to layer this on top and stick that on there, and I think it's a gorgeous little card. Very simple. And if you like your colouring, this is a great stamp set to do that with. And as I said before, I was really like afraid to colour, but now I've been watching a lot of other YouTube videos of people colouring, and I've practiced a little bit, and now I have the confidence to do it as well. And I really love using my blender pen along with my watercolour pencils, and I'm loving this effect, and I don't have to spend a fortune on alcohol markers. As much as I like alcohol markers, maybe in the future I'll get some, but in the meantime, because of budget constraints, I will stick with my watercolour pencils for now. So I've just glued on that piece now. I'm just going to centre it on here, and oh, that's stuck on now. Didn't centre it 100%, but I'm going to now stick that on the back. You can use dimensionals, but I'm just going to use glue. But I'm not going to glue it on the side, so it just has a little bit of a lift, and it can easily go through the mail. So I'm leaving this card blank because I can use this as a thank you or whichever card I see fit for whatever occasion. So I like to make cards sometimes and leave them blank without any sentiments. But I have to say the stamp set comes with very cute sentiments. Hope your birthday is just like you. Just peeking in to say hello. That would be gorgeous with that particular image there. Wonderful in every way. You make me happy. A friend like you comes along once in lives, and life is messy. So really cute, and you can couple them with any of the images you see fit. So I quite like this stamp set, and I haven't used it very often. I only used it once on the weekend to make this card. So let me know which card you prefer actually. My favourite is this one. This is cute too, with the polka dots, and I quite like the basket weave too. That adds quite a bit of something and a lot of texture. So I think it's gorgeous. So yeah, give the basket weave embossing folder a try. This is a lot of fun and very, very textured, as you can see. It's really cool. And this pretty kitty stamp set, awesome. Just love it. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions or you'd like any advice on which products to get, or you don't have a demonstrator in Australia and you would like one and you'd like to purchase from me, I would really, really appreciate your business very much. Thank you again for coming past. I hope you found this video helpful, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.